the most important aspect of it is I wanted to retain the O2 sensor. I'm specifically going to talk about a cat delete and tune today. So if you are interested in doing a cat delete and tune, this is your video. Stick around. Let's talk about it. Okay, so I rode this thing for about 7,000 miles. 7,500. Yeah, we'll just go 7,500. Yeah, well, that sounds like a good round number. So 7,500 miles. I knew I was going to get the cat delete eventually. I just love the way that it sounds, right? Yeah. What I've noticed here in Texas, where I live, is that I think I'm like 230 or 300 feet above sea level. Basically at sea level, okay? The Tenere, it's fine. It's beautiful. I really didn't need to do the cat delete, but I wanted to. What was really the awakening moment for me is whenever I went to Utah last year. I did a test run with my bags and everything. I did a test run and it was fine. Getting on the highway, I had no problems. I mean, everything was just beautiful. But once I get up to Utah and oh, look at that horse, that gray one. Y'all probably won't see it. It's the gray and white. That is awesome. Wow. But once I get up to Utah and get up into that 6,000, 8,000 foot range, 10,000, whatever, that's when I really started noticing a difference. Like getting on the highway, getting up to highway speed, that's where I noticed the difference. And trying to merge onto a highway that has a 80-mile-an-hour speed limit. Whenever I was in the hills and actually on the BDR, I didn't really notice a difference. I mean, I didn't notice a power difference whenever I was on the actual BDR. Now, I was also loaded very minimal. The main thing that I have noticed about this is just the low end. Like, I'm in third gear, and on these roads right now, I can spin the tire. Yeah, I can spin the tires into. Yeah, easy. I have not noticed any difference in the fuel range, but of course I still have the 6-gallon fuel tank. I'll burn 150 miles before it even drops a bar. I'm actually thinking about dropping down to the 16, or going up to a 16 tooth. Up front. I didn't want to do it without the tune, because I've heard of people that went to the tune and said, yeah, you know, whenever they're off-road or whatever, the gears get longer and they don't really like it. So I've talked to my buddy Rusty, and he also has the delete and tune, and 1 tooth and the 16 tooth front sprocket, and he loves it. At highway speeds, he said that the engine isn't screaming near as much. And when I say highway speeds, I mean Texas highway speeds. Like, if you're not at least doing 80, you're in the wrong. I think this is probably, for me, the most important aspect of it is I wanted to retain the O2 sensor. I have the Dyno Jet Power Vision 2, yeah, PV2, and that's what I used to flash my ECU. I want to retain the O2 sensor, whereas two-wheel dyno works, you have to, I don't think you have to, but I think their cheaper tune is without the O2 sensor. But that O2 sensor, as far as I know, as far as I'm concerned, it will detect whenever your engine is running rich or lean and tell your computer to, hey, you know, you need to fatten her up, or hey, you need to go on a diet. That's the whole purpose of the O2 sensor. So with me wanting to go to higher elevations other than sea level, I think that's a pretty important factor. That's why I want to keep the original O2 sensor. Now, I think that Two Wheel Dyno Works offers a wideband O2 sensor upgrade. And again, if you got the money to spend it, go ahead. Wideband is better. But the normal O2 sensor talks to the computer. I'd rather keep it as simple as possible. That's me. I'm just simple. I'd rather keep the OEM sensor, and the only other thing that you have to add is that little 12-inch extension for the O2 sensor, because for some reason, it's like with this one, Leo Vents, I think all of them are put the O2 sensor farther backward. I don't know why they do that. Now, if you're handy with a TIG welder, or you're really good at welding stainless steel, you can put your own bung in there. You can make your own bung hole. I am not. As far as gains on paper, for those of you guys that are penny pinchers, you're not going to see much difference. But whenever you get on this bike, you're definitely going to feel a difference. It's going to feel a lot more peppy, a lot more lively, and just overall increased fun factor. Now, some of y'all are thinking, well, how can you improve on something that's this good already? Some of y'all might not be happy with it and like, well, it needs some improvement, but anyways, I'm telling you, after I got the tune and decat for this, that's ultimately the fun that it unlocked on this bike, is ultimately the reason why my 1290 Super Adventure R is gone. That's the main thing. It sounds insane that a Tenere would beat out a 1290, but for me, it did. Y'all might think I'm insane for that, but hey, to each their own, right? So the bottom line is, for you penny pinchers, and I don't mean that in a derogatory way, your gains on paper are not, it's not going to add up to what you pay. So don't even take that into consideration. It's all in what you feel. That's, wow, beautiful. That's where your gains are, is the playfulness of this bike. It just unlocks a whole different level of enjoyment. Let me tell you this about the Power Vision 3. All right, so the Power Vision 3 this is a 2023 model. I haven't looked at it since, but if you go on the DynoJet website, they do not have a map for, unless they've updated it, I doubt it. They do not have a map for the decat, the full exhaust. They don't have a map for it. But if you go back to 2021 and look, it's the map. They got a map for it. It is the same motor, guys. They have not changed this CP2, okay? They haven't changed it. It's the same damn motor. So I called DynoJet and I told them, I said, look, I just got this in the mail today, and I want to send it back because there's no map. I asked them if they could help me, and then I told them the situation. I said, look, here in 2021, so he got the name. For those of y'all who know, every PC has a name, okay? PCS, like as in a computer. Well, so do the ECMs or ECUs on these bikes. They all have a name and they're designated. So that was why, that is what he had to change. He had to change it from the name of a 2021 to the name of the 2023 model. Same tune, just had to rename something on the back end. So he did that, and he emailed me the tune. I loaded it to the PV2, loaded it on the bike, and haven't looked back since. It's awesome. It's freaking awesome. So that's the only glitch with using the Power Vision 2 tuner. Otherwise, I like the idea of, if I do sell this bike, I can take everything off, put it back to factory, and put it on my next Tenere. Doing it yourself is definitely a thing. It is not hard at all. Thank you guys for tuning in. Maybe girls, I don't know if there is any. Give me a shout out. Give me a yeah, girl power. I don't know. I don't mean if you think you're a girl. I'm talking about if you're really a girl. All right, guys. We'll see y'all later. Bye.